Good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. Of course, I still remain George Onibe. I will not change my name. I will not impersonate another person by answering their name. I am just who I am. Like I promised us that this very discussion will be going on series. It has already begun. The theme that is titled Organized Crime by Igbo Biafra People. It is going to take some time because we are going to look at every areas of our life that is being invaded by these criminal-minded individuals. Yesterday, we looked at drug under organized crime. And today, I will gladly take some time out to see how I can be able to comprehensively look into another topic under the same theme, which I entitled Enforce Unity. Today, there are a lot of things going on around Nigeria from across the globe. No country, no nation of the world could actually say for a fact, this is who Nigerians are. They have idea. Some say Nigerians are good people, resilient people, hardworking people, determined people. They are survival. They have this vibe, positive and negative. They say everything about us. But in the heart of any priest, they will sing about us. There is this fear, there is this notion. Maybe these people cannot be trusted. These people may be genius. Maybe they are criminal. Maybe something is out of order, like I will always say. And believe me, they are right. Because when you meet certain ethnic groups who are Nigerians, believe me, you don't need to go to heaven. Because Nigeria is that heaven. Make no mistake about that. And when you see this group of corrupt individuals, this criminal gang that call themselves Igbo Biafra, my brother, don't look for hellfire. Don't look for the devil. It is right here in Nigeria. And so that is why we have developed that defense mechanism to survive. But it's not just about surviving a plague. It's not surviving a sickness. It's not surviving disease that makes us unique or that should make us to be unique. But rather, we must strive. We must fight. We must push harder to make sure it does not reoccur. And that is exactly what we are trying to do on this platform. I am a Car man, an Abo man. And I should say by the grace of God, both parents are a Car people. And so it's very difficult for anybody to tell me anything about my culture, most especially when their communities run across the Car land. I could trace my family member down to Edo State in Ebake, Ugbo Jobonaifo, Umulua, and the rest of them. I could trace them down to Delta State, so numerous, from Umbiri to Umunede, from Umunede to Emoho, from Emoho to Utokpo, from Utokpo to Owadiro. It could go on and on and on. How did I know? When I lost my mother, I have known so many people to be part of my family. But I can't place them. Because sometimes they say we are going to Mbiri. I just cannot connect the dot. And then the next time they say we are going to Munede. I still can't connect the dot. And then maybe we go to Ekukwabo. I still can't connect the dot. And then maybe we go to Utokbo. I still cannot connect the dot. And no, all these communities I've mentioned, all of them are Eka, down to Ekuma in Abavo. And then when my mother passed away, it dawns on me because I have to ask my elders, please, where exactly do we come from? In this Eka land, where do we come from? And that was when they began to give me the breakdown of our family tree. Some are here in Abobi, and the others are here in here, and the others are here in here, and the others are here in here, because all of us did not migrate from one village. And so we know our history. We know who we are. That is why I'm bringing it up. And then you go to the larger society of the people you people call Igbo, Bendel Igbo, Midwestern Igbo, now Delta Igbo, and Edo Igbo. We were not or has ever been Igbo, just that we kept quiet because there was no need. If we are Igbo, we are Igbo. If we are not Igbo, we are not Igbo. But we carefully guide our value system. But when we begin to see the criminality and the mischievous mindset of these people who say they are Igbo Biafra, we knew it is time for us to speak up. It is either now or never. And so you go down now to the larger Anyoma. Amazingly, today, Anyoma is in disarray in terms of history, culture, and tradition. Some Anyoma people say they are Igbo people. Some Anyoma people say they are Benin people. And some say they are Igala people. And some say they are Benin people, and of course Yoruba people, and then Ijaw people. And then last night I was informed that there are even descendants of Idoma right there in Anyoma. But I'm still going to look into it because I'm just hearing it for the first time. Or maybe it's a mistake along the line. But we, the people of Anyoma, supposedly, because it's an acronym, understand that we did not have the same descendants. But somewhere along the line, our life met, our paths crossed. We decide to form a future for ourselves that we have respected, that we have, respected each other space until there were presence of Igbo Biafra felt on social media. And what they are doing cannot take all of you by surprise. Because like I asked, these Igbo Biafra people, are they here on revenge? This is one question you should be asking yourself every day. All this organized crime against other ethnic groups in Nigeria, are they on revenge mission? Because they believe that the Nigerian Biafra war was all Nigerians against Igbo people. And so some of them who say they are now Igbo Biafra want to, somewhere along the line, they want a pound of flesh. But that pound of flesh, they will get it because we will give it to them. I'm sure that just like the merchant of Venice, when they get that privilege, they will not know where to start the cutting from. And so you should ask yourself, are they on a revenge mission? Because it's organized crime against Anyoma people. You will not know what they are trying, their aim, their purpose, and agenda. It's very wide. But I will not exhaust all the details on this broadcast. I will just giving you a clue so that whatever you are doing, you should know whether you're the one contributing to the development of Nigeria or you are part of the people trying to destroy other ethnic groups in Nigeria. And so in recent time, after Biafra agitation failed, the metamorphose to obedient movement, when obedient movement failed, they introduced their militant group known as Eastern Security Network, Unknown Gunmen. And while they are struggling with the challenges of the unknown gunmen, they moved on to begin to talk about Igbo unity. But let's think about it. Is it wrong to want to unite? No. We talk about the unity of Nigeria. We stand by the unity of Nigeria because there is more advantage in unity in diversity than enforced unity. And that is why we are looking at the topic I titled this morning, Enforced Unity. You should know what it is. It is an organized crime against the people. We have so many groups of Igbo. There are the ones they call sub-Igbo. These sub-Igbo are considered as brainless. Unfortunately, the Igbo Biafra people say we are sub-Igbo. Go and ask Father or Reverend Father Ebukobi of Adoration Ministry, Mbaka brother. They see us as Ndowalilili because we say we are not Igbo. They see Ikwere people as lazy people because they say they are not Igbo. And then you have another group of Igbo that they call Wawawa Igbo. These Wawawa Igbo are majorly around Ebonyi State. Some of them are in Enugu. They said when they say they are Wawawa Igbo, it also means that they are like, when they call our Saman Abuki. Those ones, they have brain, but they are foolish. At least they have brain to submit that they are Igbo, but they don't have sense. David Umahi, your Senate president, comes from that class of Igbo they call Wawawa because he's from Ebonyi State. And now let's look at Wawawa people, for instance. They accept, majority of them ignorantly accept their Igbo. What do they do after all? Association and assimilation. But I want you to go and check how Anambra people deal with them. If Anambra people can marginalize Onitsha people and make sure no Onitsha man gets to the government house in Oka, who is Ebonyi man? I want you not to just take my word, but to read their body language. Look at how they treat Ebonyi people right there in the southeast. And that is another class of Igbo. And then you have these Igbo that are the descendants of Abraham. They say they are the children of Uri, that Abraham is their forefather. Israel has come to Nigeria to correct or to validate this very claim. When the Israel came to Nigeria, Nigerian government was not happy about that, but they were under serious armed guard. They spent some days in Anambra, Aguneri to be precise, taking blood sample and DNA test. After some days, they left with whatever information they have. And when they got there, they said, no, there is no trace of the Hebrew, not to talk of the Jewish people, in their life. But on social media, they still claim, oh, we are descendants of Abraham, not because they like Israel people. Somewhere along the line, as some Africans think that Putin will come and save them, some Africans also think, like Igbo Biafra, that Netanyahu will come and save them. And so each time they are trying their body language that they are Hebrew, they are trying to draw sympathy from Israel people. But unfortunately, what they didn't know was that when Nnamdi Kanu ran to Israel to open his embassy in Israel, Netanyahu actually chased him away because they discovered he wanted to bring in criminality in Israel. That is one thing they will never take. But most of the people shouting Biafra did not know that Nnamdi Kanu was given the ultimatum date of 7 days, 1 week to leave Israel, or he will face the justice system. The person that was driving him around is an Igbo guy who married to a Jewish lady. Till they leave, that guy withdraw his car from Nnamdi Kanu. That guy disassociated from IPOB completely because he discovered that Nnamdi Kanu is a rogue. This is the truth they don't tell you. And so why we talk about different Igbo, these Igbo Biafra are those ones who say they migrate from Equatorial Guinea, who are on social media trying to deceive you that they have now Jamaica Igbo descendants, Yoruba Igbo descendants. They are everywhere lying. They are virus. You should disassociate with them. They are the ones trying to unite everybody that you are Igbo. But just like as they think they can use the Jewish people, that is exactly the same thing they're thinking they can do. They used us in the past, but never again. Not under our watch. Not today, not tomorrow, not forever. And that is why we stand our ground. Despite the fact we are reaching you from uncompleted building, we are not going anywhere until the truth finally prevails. Not just sufficing, it must prevail. And then you have another class of Igbo people. These are purely progressive-minded people. Their only problem is that they don't talk. And when you talk now, they will begin to cry. In their mind, we can't betray ourselves. That makes them an accomplice. We have not started generalizing it because we know these people are good. And we are just a way of extending our voice to them and say, please, call a spade a spade. Because the criminality and organized crime of Igbo Biafra people against other ethnic groups, not just in Africa, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe, will no longer be overlooked. And so this group of Igbo people don't lie. They say the truth. But they have been doff-handed right there under the umbrella of Anyobondi Igbo. And that is why when they come in a meeting, gathering, they know that they are not the same. And most of them are ignorant of this truth. And so let's assume they have all been assimilated as becoming Igbo. And so when they come, they say, some of them will stand up and greet in this manner. If you don't understand Igbo language, you will not understand the dicey or the dangerous statement, impression coming from those words. You will hear them say, somebody want to notion to talk. When he say Igbo Kwenu, you will hear yeah. The same way Ibibio man can say Anangeya, just like that. But when they say Igbo Kwenu, the next thing you hear is Igbo bu Igbo Kwenu. And that is because the person wants you to know that not all Igbo will understand. But the Igbos that are Igbo, these Igbos that are Igbo, they are those criminals who call themselves Igbo Biafra. And so if you are Igbo person, listen to me. Anytime you gather in Igbo gathering, and somebody stand up to say, Igbo bu Igbo Kwenu, they are the Igbo Biafra. Don't trust everything they say, because they have divided you people already. They are speaking in parable, they are speaking in code, which most of you in that meeting will never know. And then on the same hand, somebody stands up and say, Igbo bu Igbo Kwenu. Those are the true progressive-minded people. These are the ones that believe Igbo is Igbo. There is no Wawawa Igbo. There is no fake Igbo. There is no Idoalili Igbo. Every Igbo should be treated equally. Just that they can't say the truth. But you will not know. But unfortunately for them, we, Eka people, understand Igbo completely, even without going to any supposed Igbo community. It's a gift, but they don't understand us. That is where the difference begins. Ikwere man does not need to go to Imo State to learn Igbo. It comes naturally. It's applicable to the Oda, to the Orashi, to the Eka people, to the Anyoma people, Ndukwa Usimili, Anyocha, and it's Eka people, all of us. It comes naturally, but they can't speak us. Who then is original, if there has to be anything like original in the first place? And now I have to create this scenario so we don't confuse issues, because we are going a long way. Enforce unity. Today, we have had our own fair share of Ghana inhuman treatment meted against Nigeria. It is targeted on Igbo people, and you hear Igbophobia. Today, Ghanaians are on the uprising. They just have dislike for Nigerians. And as I'm speaking to you, they just don't want to take it personal. Now they have generalized it. Whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Igbo, majority or minority, they see all of you now as Igbo. And in the coming days, if the president of Nigeria, led by President Bola Tinubu, does not intervene in this matter, a lot of things will happen. But why we are not concerned is that the same people who are playing this music will have to dance to it. So whether they kill Yoruba man by mistake, they kill Hausa man by mistake, let's see who will pay the real brunt in this whole issue. Because when they pop up issue of a community of Igbo people in Ghana, it look innocent, just the same way we look innocent. And for you, Ghanaians, if you lay down your shield in the name of maturity, your children will cry for it. And that is when we are long gone. Because this is organized crime. Enforce unity. How can you have a community from another community and form another community inside your community? And suppose human rights activists of Nigeria are applauding it. We didn't say don't form your group, your union, your meeting in our place. We certainly don't have the right, and it is inhuman, unethical. Nobody will do that. But by the time you start producing, manufacturing, creating an anti-version of the original version, it becomes a threat. And just as we are trying to tone down the saga of Igbo King in Ghana, They now have the Obi of Onitsha. Obi of Lagos. And those of you who will come and talk rubbish here, please, what is the essence of the Obi of Lagos? Will you be happy when we now have the Uni of Onitsha? You don't even allow Muslim clerics to answer Imam in your place. But you are going to people's community, you are doing Obi. But we know these are strategies of the enforced unity, which is the topic of today's discussion. Will you appreciate when we have the Oba of Bini and Agwata? How will you feel when we now create our own Obi of Agbo in Enugu? You are going to cry hell. But this is exactly what you are doing to people. But not everybody understands. And so we wake up one day because they have discussed in the tunnel chamber how they are going to disorganize Nigeria, how they are going to use some ethnic group in Nigeria to fight some ethnic groups. Under Biafra, it didn't work. We played to it. We fell for it. And that was when on Radio Biafra, we will tell you, Ijo is Biafra, Urubu is Biafra, everybody is Biafra, all of us here is Biafra, all of us here is Biafra. Not as if we had hatred for anybody. We were trying to push to a point where Nigeria will be restructured, which was actually the main agenda. But later on, we discovered that it was all about the expansionist idea. And so when they see that they cannot unite us to use us through Biafra agitation because it has failed, they now pulled in immediately and start funding Igbo unity. All the money they raised in IPOB is what they are using to fund Igbo unity. Like I said, who hates unity? That is what we pray. Philosophically, Bob Marley say Africans unite. We must unite like every other nation. But it is not in a manipulative form, which the Igbo Biafra people are doing. And so we wake up one day, they said they want to form Ohaneze Ndigbo, new leadership. And they left the southeast, which they say is Igbo, and they went to River State. If in the absence of Obako Ikwere and other social media platforms who hit the social media line and begin to point out this criminality, people like the Rudolph, Ikwere social awareness, to mention but a few. They were the one that sensitized or awakened the Ikwere people to know that something is not right. And Senator Mbata Azonta today is the leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo. But this is the conspiracy theory. Ohaneze Ndigbo have two wings. One is fake and one is original. That is what they always do. They create decoy. So who is the real leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo? Few days this issue was trending. I knew that Anyomama was the first leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo. But after his 3 or 4 years tenure in office, my people say they are not and will never be part of it. Igbo people quickly went to re-edit this information on the social media platform when I talked about it. Because it was not loud, they thought we did not know. And so those of you who are versatile with all these search engines, from the AI to the Google to the Encyclopedia and the Wikipedia, all of them, go and look at the first leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo. Boom, they will tell you it's Nnamdi Azikiwe, and then they begin to call other small boys. They are not the founder. Now that's the same thing that makes us to live. Mbata is there alone. That is it. And so they began to tell you, oh, Opobo is Igbo. Opobo is Igbo. It was Senfobara. And that is where Senfobara lost it all. And I believe he must have learned his lesson. Because it's Senfobara they were looking for. They want access to River State by every means necessary. Good luck Ebere Jonathan fell for them. Senfobara fell for them. Just that it was not noticeable. I need you to check his body language. When he gathered a meeting in Opobo, and when he wanted to address them, he left his Ijo dialect and started singing. Ndengwe na ndengwe. But wise Nigerians know that body language. Senfobara, by now we know that these people, they will only hyper you and push you. When the going get tough, they will abandon you. We were there. You need to see when they hyper me, African rep, intelligent man, oh DK, Agwoturumbe. Call me beautiful names because I was their fool. But the moment I know what they know, I become a bad man. Yare soku, onye mani ibe banyo. Nothing more. And so what they do is they invested heavily, started organizing program, Igbo unity meeting in Ikwere land, Igbo unity in Anyoma land, Igbo unity. They have conspired behind. They have told Senator Mbata, you will be the chairman of the River State when we get what we are looking for. We will support you to be president. Of course, death calleth unto death. The need of men are insatiable. But the earlier we know how to differentiate from what we want from what we need, the better for all of us. I want a beautiful studio, but I need this phone to come and do. And so one is more important than one. And so people like Senator Mbata are supposed to be learned and to know that the difference between what they want and what they need, they are different. And then they switched on because they succeeded and they landed in Anyoma land. And then there is one other senator known as Ned Nwokuru. He jumped out under the umbrella of a cannot and destroyed the hope of we having our Anyoma creation. He practically on the floor of Senate started begging Senator Akpabio, who body language shows that Akpabio is supporting him. You people, give us that Anyoma state under Senator Nedimoko. We will tell the story when that time comes. Because why did I say that the body language of the Senate president, Akpabio, which I have appealed to and say, no, do not subscribe to this thing. It's a crime against our people. If you understand, fine. If he does not understand, fine. Because Enugu and Akwa Ibom is the place they are doing this campaign. They are not doing it in Delta State. They are not doing it in our community. Only just bring rapper share to hungry ones among us and say, oh, we are doing Igbo unity, even without their knowledge. The real rally is carried out in Enugu and Akwa Ibom. So why are you creating another man's state in another people's state? That is to tell you about their interior motives. And so, why all these things is going on? They begin to falsify history, distort history, to enable them to enforce this unity on us. And at least I've been able to create enough scenario why you must be wary of Igbo unity beggar. Now, let's go back a little bit. If you see, when the imperialists invaded Africa, the first terrorists known to the world, they called them self-colonial master, and they divided Africa among themselves in the Berlin Conference. This is the switch when the era of independence came. The British that colonized us, as they said, when they were pulling out, they gave us indirect rule, which is what is still going on till today. Anybody who wants to be your president as Nigeria will go and see the Queen of England or the King of England to be inducted. They will indoctrinate them. They have to go through induction. Without that, these people, the British people, will turn the people ignorantly against this leader. Go and ask them, why did they kill Murtala Mohammed? Go and ask them. But that is a case for another day. And so Nigeria is still run by the indirect rule. British colonial policy, indirect rule. Use the people to rule the people. And then behind and manipulate them. Puppets. I know most of you will not like it, but that is the truth. And then the French, on the other hand, decide to play their own magic, political magic. And they call their own rule as association and assimilation. Now let's come to association and assimilation, which is more dangerous than the indirect rule. Both of them are manipulative arms of government. The indirect rule makes you see your brother as your problem, your brother as your leader, your brother as everything evil or pain you are facing through. But that is not true, because your brother is just being remote controlled. But that of indirect rule disarm both the leader and all of you. That is why the oldest president in the whole world is Cameroon, Francophone country. He's almost 1,000 years. He's still coming for second tenure. A man that they carry about with stretcher. That is what association and assimilation can do. And other countries, they have bamboozled and mesmerized under the Francophone colony. All of them are breaking out. Look at what Francophone is doing. And what is association and assimilation? Force unity. Till today, has France absorbed Francophone country? No. They go to World Bank, they go to United Nations, they go to all the gang up of where they manipulate the life of black, and they tell you how our life should be run. But it's association as assimilation. Invariably meaning that if you identify with us, you become one of us. How many black people have German citizenship? France citizenship. It is enforced unity. But this association and assimilation make them not to assimilate our black color, but they will assimilate our gold, our silver, our oil, everything precious in Africa. They have assimilated all of them. That is exactly what Igbo Biafra people are doing under the guise of unity. And they enforce it on you. It comes in a manipulative way. Look at France claiming what is in another country, in Africa here, a continent that is far from them. You begin to wonder who gave them that right. Without them ganging up, only Lagos State will overrun the whole of UK. I say, as we are talking, only stone, firewood, and cutlass, machete. We will give France nightmare. Forget about ballistic missile, magnetic pulse, a big bam and bam boom, and all this rubbish they tell you about. They don't fight alone. They have a clique, and that is the same clique Igbo Biafra people have. That is why it looks like they're invincible. That is why they will always have their way, but it's not going to be for a very long time. Now that it looks like everybody abandoned Israel, or their body language is changing, where are they? Let America begin to sanction, because these people is not power of their own. Why is China forming alliance now? Let them fight one-on-one. Let us see who is world power. But that is not the purpose of this discussion. But I'm creating a scenario so that you understand what is actually going on. And so they must team up. If we revolt now and say we will not submit to the British rule, indirect rule, Britain will now call France. They can even call Costa Rica, call every country around the world and say these people want to revolt. You begin to see sanction. You begin to see sanction. In respect to other organized crime, which is the main reason why we are talking about this. All of them will not come out, but they will be aiding and abetting each other from behind the scene. And they will cripple you and bring you to the nail. That is exactly what the Igbo people are doing. And so what did they do? They have tried Senator Ned Nwoko, and they are giving us headache from that angle. They have tried Senator Umbata, and they are giving us from that angle. And they moved on to take their children, born by our sisters, who fortunately grew in our community. And they are the ones that are shouting, we are Igbo, and they are giving you history of Igbo. It's a project. Let me take two of them as a case study. The one they call Kainebi, Igbo Unity. And the one that calls itself the Almighty. Where do they come from? Is that guy really from Akomazi? Go and check the history. His father is Igbo man by Akomazi woman. Let's go back to the Almighty. The Almighty is from Enugu. That small brag that we wake up from Igbo Mporomini he's taking. That gay. He said he's from Okwane. And the mother is from, what do you call this, Ugume. But his father is from Enugu. And you are a Nyoma person. Ned Nwoko group of company. They are the people fighting for Nyoma for you. I started by telling you, my both parents now are Eka people. And then somebody whose father is from Enugu, I'm talking of Almighty, according to them, Almighty Unity Beggar. And his mother is from Ugume, product of baby factory. Who is the right person to show you where our house is? Who is the right person? So they are on social media deceiving you. The money they were using to do Biafra agitation was splitted into two. They push one and begin to do Igbo unity. They push the other one. That is what Peter Obi is running up and down. From coalition to movement to articulation. You should be versatile with all this information. But we are looking at enforced unity. And so all of a sudden in a time like this, the last time I checked this is 2025. Yorubas are maintaining their space. Hausa are maintaining their space. Every ethnic group is maintaining their space. Except the Igbo Biafra people jumping up and down. Everybody must be Igbo. Everybody must be Igbo. If they don't have anything to gain, why are they investing heavily on it? Why are they so desperate to make sure they are united? They are just manipulating us to have access to our land and our waterways. Nothing more, nothing less. Of course, the deeper conspiracy and organized crime there is that they believe somewhere along the line, they will have to fight Nigeria on another war. They are trying to form alliance. You see China body language. They are trying to see how many they can incorporate into their mischievousness. Instead of going to the floor of the Senate and being sincere and say, we truly want to go. Let their senators begin to talk. Let their representatives, their governors begin to talk. They are playing hanky-panky. It is either they will win us or they will destroy us. And so they embark on this manipulative and false unity. Oh, everybody is Igbo. Now, if you are from Anyoma, tell me that I'm wrong. That right there in Anyoma, there is no community that answered Udoka, but speak Yoruba dialect. We still have Olukumi people in Anyoma now. Around Obio Oasis, we have more than 8 communities, predominantly Yoruba. They speak Anyocha, and then in their community, they speak Yoruba. But these people will never tell you they are Yoruba. They don't even answer Yoruba name anymore. They answer Udoka, Igbo name, because of Catholic Church. We shall look into the Catholic Church when the time comes. And maybe Pope will begin to see how this issue is addressed. Because we will still look into organized crime under religion. We will still look into organized crime under economics and business session. It's going to be a long series. So it's obvious these people retain their dialect, and I love them for it. The same way the Benin resisted being called Bendel Yoruba, these people resisted changing their language. We melted it down. And somewhere along the line, I will talk to my car people. We have deviated, we have derailed, and you people need to begin to get sense. You are calling your children Chukuka, or this Igbo name. Please, they are Igbo name. We have our name. Begin to name them Abo name. The era of Catholic Church is gone. Now they are taking advantage of our religion affiliation to destroy us. Because you are a Muslim and you answer Mustafa does not mean you are from Saudi Arabia. Because you are a Muslim and you answer El Rufai does not mean that you are from Dubai. It's religion affiliation. But to tell you that these other people don't have issue, nobody is claiming anybody that they are Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia are not saying we have a Nigerian Saudi Arabia. Why is Igbo people hell-bent? They are not seeing it because you have not been able to visage the interior motive behind the enforced unity. The moment you allow them to deceive the next generation of our people that you are who you are not, believe me, a man that marries a single mother, no matter the sacrifice you make, that son of another man will never see you as their father. And your wife of a single mother can never love you as much as he loved that his child. And so whatever you are doing, you need to have these two things at the back of your mind before you marry a single mother. Because there are weeds that will not be. And so those of you who are promoting Igbo unity, who say you are from Anyoma, have it at the back of your mind. You will never be part of Igbo Igbo. You can never be part of this clique called Igbo Igbo. This is one truth you have to deal with. They are the baby mama, and you are the single man. Don't let them destroy you with their harlots. They are harlots, ethnic harlots, people who don't know their history. But they will come through manipulation, deceit, and they are gaining ground. They are shouting, oh, everybody is Igbo, everybody is Igbo. And now, this is the reason why we are against that unity. They deceive Chukwuma Nsogo. They deceive Achuse. They deceive Philip Effiong, to mention but a few. But in our current time, under IPOB, they not only deceive us, they deceive themselves. Now, let me digress a little bit. There is a young man known as Ikechukwu Ugwoha. He's an Igbo man, the one I love dearly as a brother. He's a very proactive member of IPOB, one of the pioneers, I should say. When you see Chidebe Ronwudiwe and Ikechukwu Ugwoha, exceptionally, they have conscience. And they are some of the people why I have not talked to generalize it to Igbo people, because I believe some of them will know the truth. But unfortunately, Ikechukwu Ugwoha has been murdered by IPOB people. Some of them say it's Simon Ekpa, some of them say it's Nnamdi Kanu. But whatever the case may be, there is no difference between autopilot and Radio Biafra. They are all the same, just that one is there to change dimension. It's bringing in new dimension. This having been said, Ikechukwu Ugwoha knew the truth. And I'm sure he started speaking the truth. What did they do? They went to his house, they unalived him in the presence of his little kid, in presence of his wife. Do you hear them talk about it? Because he knows the truth. That is why I don't blame the real people who are supposed to be Igbo, because they can't say the truth, except they behave like some tout on my platform now. Though those ones are Igbo Biafra anyway. And then there is another one called Mendia Akparawa. And if you're listening to me, you are still fooling yourself under the umbrella of Anibundi Biafra. We want to get ourselves, and you want to unite with me. Thunder will fire all of you. Where is Mendia Akparawa? And those of you who refuse to listen, you will meet your Waterloo at the right time. Mendia Akparawa, as the name suggests, you know it's an Akwa Ibom man already. During the era of Biafra agitation, when we wanted to penetrate Akwa Ibom, or when we were having crisis, we have another Igbo man that was in Calabar who was defending that front. But he was not openly accepted because he's an Igbo man. They can't come and tell them to be Biafra. And so we needed Akwa Ibom man, as they needed a Nyoma person now to come and say we are Nyoma. So we needed somebody from Akwa Ibom to carry that campaign. And that is when Mendia Akparawara came. He was a struggling young man in Abia State who was among the shoemakers then. And he loved what we were doing before it was criminalized, and decided to run a campaign on IPOB right there in Akwa Ibom. They didn't tell me. They planned it from Kuje prison. And the next thing I heard was that they were doing Akwa Ibom rally, Biafra rally in Akwa Ibom. I called Chidebe Ronwudiwe from the Kuje prison. I called Benjamin Madubugu from the Kuje prison, because Nnamdi Kanu was issuing order through them. And I was in contact with Nnamdi Kanu, but I didn't call him in this instance. Because if he don't want to tell them something, he will call me direct. If you want them to follow when they say chain of command, he will tell them to tell me. And now somebody is doing protest and you people didn't tell me, and you say I am the African rep and the Nigerian national coordinator. How can you organize a rally without telling me? I tried to reach out to them, but I made my position clear. What you people are doing, I don't know. Before the end of that day, because I kept my ears on the ground to know what is happening, Akwa Ibom people have descended on all those people doing Biafra rally. This means that they cut off his hand. Till he died, he has one paralyzed hand. They abandoned him. And some people who knew I could help him called me and said, look at this boy problem. Nobody to help. And I called some few Igbo people I know, because they were able to carry him to Aba and say, please, attend to that guy. But they still feel they can use me, so they will listen to me. That was how they helped that guy. The hand was not amputated, but he couldn't use the hand completely again. I thought Mendia had sense. I thought Mendia understand the game. But you see, somewhere along the line, he was proving that he's a hitman. He's a hardcore. That is what you call it, hardcore. And everybody began to notice him. They saw he's a good tool to be used, at least, to influence Akwa Ibom people. And then when I noticed Nnamdi Kanu body language, because he went to Bayelsa, he put Igbo man there as a coordinator. He went to Rivers, he put Igbo man there as a coordinator. He came to Delta, he put Igbo man there as a coordinator. He went to Bayelsa. Everywhere in South that is not Igbo land, he put Igbo people as all the coordinator. I have all their names. We never reached there, so let's leave them. And then I asked him, how can a Enugu man be coordinator of Delta State? No, I don't understand. How can Abia man be the coordinator of River State? I thought we are supposed to be, showing example of what you represent. Or are you telling me there is nobody from this state that can represent the state? In order for him to fault me and make me look bad, he now removed the coordinator of Abia State and carry Mendia and put as the coordinator. And I say Mendia is swimming on on shark-infested river, but he didn't know. But he has become almost untouchable because they will guide him, they will fund him, they will sponsor him, they will hyper him, they will hypnotize him. And so he was answering state coordinator and walking all around. And by the time it's obvious that IPOB has become a terrorist group, everybody who has sense pulled back. And that was when Mendia was the state coordinator, jumping up and down. When Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in Kenya, brought back to Nigeria, they wanted to do a protest, but because they cannot use Biafra material, they went to wear Findi. That Findi, Nnamdi Kanu had planned for Findi before, but it didn't work because he's a shareholder in that company. Our money. So if you still remember the Findi protest they did in Aba, and that was the last protest so far, about 90% of those who went for that protest are still missing till today. Mendia was unalive. Igbo people didn't talk about it. And Akwa Ibom will not talk about it. And so who caused the Mendia Akparawa died for? They will hyper you, Anyoma is Igbo, Anyoma is Igbo. But the truth now is that if Tinubu and Akpabio give us to Igbo people, there is no problem. But just because of value system, there is something we cannot tolerate. There is something that we don't tolerate. And that thing, based on our value, they will do it to us. Because they don't even know, neither do they care. And we will react. And then we begin to hunt for each other. And so there is no need. Igbo people, remove your body from the creation of Anyoma state. Because it's a will that will never be. And so that is one of the reasons you are seeing Igbo unity. He must unite. The next reason why you must frown and shun this Igbo unity is that it will give them access to dictate what happened in your territory. You can imagine one Enugu man, idiot. China Sanguru is from Abia. He has not called for any protest in Abia. But go to his Twitter handle. He is telling them to emulate what happened in Napel and carry out a protest. He put firewood, invariably telling Igbo Mugus to carry firewood. When they do protest, they should do backup plan. Go to his Twitter handle, his X handle. But those of you who don't reason deeply, you will not understand what he's saying. He said they had a backup plan. I think that is why they unalive about 150 military men. So China Sanguru from Abia State is telling you from Imo State to go and kill Nigerian military. He's telling you from Enugu State, go and kill Nigerian military. He's telling you from Anambra State, from Ebonyi State, all of you go and kill the Nigerian military. Go and protest. He's from Abia. And he will pull the shot down. And so if Anyoma or Delta State now becomes Igbo, they will extend the same hopelessness and say, oh, Abo people, go and do this one. Anyocha people, go and do that one. Oshimili people, go and do that one. Of course, you have accepted to the terms and conditions of what it takes to be an Igbo. Your value system must align because there cannot be a homogeneous atmosphere embodying heterogeneous. There must be reaction. When you join two positive, it will spark. There will be confusion. And that is what will happen in the end. And so they are telling you, oh, go and unite, go and unite. You will do sit at home. Because they clearly know the boundary between us. That is why their sit at home did not get to us. Are they not foolishly sitting at home? One idiot called Benjamin Madubugu will tell you that everybody in Biafra land sit at home. Who the idiot is called Biafra? No, who be the idiot they call Biafra? Not to talk of having a land in a Eka land. Not to talk of having a land in Anyoma land. Not to talk of having a land in Ikuri land. No idiot is called Biafra. And no Biafra owns any land. And those Igbo people who say they are Biafra are not from Nigeria. Some of them have to go back to Abraham. Look for Isaac and Jacob because they say they are descendants of Uri. Others will have to go back to Equatorial Guinea because nobody is a Biafra in Nigeria the last time I checked. And so the moment you give them access to inflate your life miserably, they will have access to push drug around without fear. They are infiltrating us already. They will have that power to do what they do because it's their land. Because it's their place. They will take everything from you. So Eka is not Igbo. And of course, the third thing that will happen when you let this their Igbo unity to pull through is that they will take everything from you. Politically, they will take everything from you. The organized crime, they have a group that carry out the shots. We shall still review that one. I will call them the League. The group that sponsors this criminality. They will lower our value system, which is very important. In the village, we were talking about our values. And I said to somebody, and the person responded to me, and I was shocked. I said, where did you hear that from? He said, it's what is trending now. For those of you who don't understand Ika dialect. I met a youth, we were talking about our values, and I said, you don't kill the person you are meant to protect. The person you are supposed to protect, you don't kill that person. And the guy responded to me and said, no, we have started killing the people we have to protect now. I said, how is that? He said, witches are wizards. Are they not killing their children and eating their children? I was shocked. Which means our value as a people is being tampered with already. I made like 3 adage, and they counter all of them with new generational idea. I say, ndị agba ọnụ okwu. Ọnụ okwu, ihe n'ọnụ reji papa amane ụmụ ihe reme n'ọnụ okwu. And once they lower your value system, you will not be able to know left from right. They will easily hypnotize you. They will easily manipulate you. Look at them on social media telling you, what an money. If I don't make it, I better die trying to make it. And what if you make it, you die? Where is the house of Ezego of Eyala? I'm sure all of them have become dilapidated buildings and facilities. What about Otokoto and Ndekwarego? All this money they are making, do you see any of their children becoming richer than them? They give birth to imbecile. That is vanity upon vanity. And those of you who are adopting that mentality, that value system, you will not have peace. Because some of us will retain our values, which will run counter against yours. And our land will judge all of you because you will not win us. And so why will you allow them to come and destabilize us? No, why? People who can insult their father. People, no. Look at them. Look at the people telling you the history of Igbo. Some of them are 35, 25 years, 15 years, 8 years, telling you the history of Igbo. Cosmos, Alomalustic, giving you the history of Igbo. And so as I am standing, watch me. I tell you the one I know that my elders tell me. But there are so many things about my people that I don't know. And even when I hear it from rumor, I will go back and ask, is this thing true? Because I cannot tell my father this is where we used to live before. Because I didn't pay the rent. It's my father that paid the rent. It's my father that will tell me, son, this is where we used to live before. But Igbo people know that their children, they tell their elders when they lived before. How are you going to manage it? This unity is coming in diverse form. But this morning, know that Eka is not Igbo. Know that Ikwere is not Igbo. Have peace that Anyoma is not Igbo. We are so many, whether it is Omok, whether it is Ndoke, whether it is Asa. Now we are not Igbo. This enforced unity, I just mentioned how it's going to end. But believe me, you will have your own fair share of it. I will stop there because we shall still look into it in the coming days. Let me go to the comment section and receive my insult. And you must not forget that I am not coming here to talk and leave. I'm coming here to gather progressive-minded Eka people, progressive-minded Anyoma people, progressive-minded people from the South, because we need to form a rallying point. And now some of you are afraid. You think I'm interested in your platform? You think I want to become your leader? No, I'm not interested in becoming any leader. I am the connecting point for all of you. You see the computer? It has the software that connects all the platform. One person didn't make a computer. But what made computer is the ability to develop a particular software that makes all of them to work together. I am that connection. I'm not the leader of your group. I had a conversation with my brother. He said some people should be doing like this, some people should be doing like this, some people should... Exactly how it should be. And believe me, I do not have the capacity to be all of them. And that is why when we extend hand of fellowship to you, it's because there is something you are doing better than us. But there is something we know that you didn't know. Go and study the computer. Until somebody creates the heart of computer, nothing works. Look at the human body. The brain is there, but the engine room is the heart. The blood carries the history of your biological existence. With the help of the brain, it is interpreted. But who circulates this blood? Because the moment your heart stops beating, the whole body will collapse. Your brain will fizzle out. Everything will die. We are the heart of Nigeria. And I'm trying to create a rallying point, nothing more, nothing less. Some of you who are interested, you know how to reach out to me. But don't think you will get what you want. Because somewhere along the line, we can design you. If you are there, you are there. If you are not there, you are not there. It's not our project. We're going to create a rallying point. And that is why we are not desperate about that. We are not bloggers. I didn't monetize any of my platform. I know I need money more than anything. And the moment it becomes the focus of what I do, how many share, how many like, and how many money I have to collect every month. I think there is some amount of dollars on my TikTok. I don't even want to know how much, because that is not what I hear. What gives me satisfaction is that those of you who do not want us to succeed in getting to this very point, you will still download this video and you go and share it. Paul says some are preaching Christ to make money. Some are preaching Christ to add pain to already pain he has. He said it really doesn't matter. The point is that Christ is being preached. You can spend all the billion, the contribution we made IPOB, use it to sponsor political party, use it to destroy my village. My brother, my happiness is that one Abo man, one progressive-minded Anyoma man, one progressive-minded Sasat man will have access to this information. They become my evangelist already, even without them knowing. Let's collect my insults so that we'll call it a day. We'll continue from the second topic on this very theme, organized crime by the Igbo Biafra people. And then I see, who are those people here? Who are those people here? Let's see. I see Uyi. Good morning, Uyi. I greet you. And then I see Igbo guy. He say frustrated face. Of course, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Frustrated face. It's okay. And then I see Uyi again. Uyi, good morning. He say, go and shave your frustrated looking, ugly finish. To him, he's insulting me. This is Igbo Biafra. But he's desperately dying to unite with me. To prove. If I have said, oh, I am Igbo, he say, oh, love him, boy, and we'll come out. This one will pepper on that. Let us look at Oliver. I will not talk to you. Just be dropping your rubbish. From there, I will be, making topic for Igbo Biafra people like you. You see, Very Dark Man is talking about collaboration, and you are here dividing people. Yes, and that is because a Very Dark Man don't know what he's looking for. To him, he's looking for one Nigeria. Secondly, Very Dark Man has a lot of Bini people fighting to defend Bini. Let him be fighting to defend Hausa and Yoruba. And meanwhile, while he's doing that, Very Dark Man has not come to talk about Igbo unity. Why are they forcing us to be Igbo? And when did Very Dark Man start talking about us? But I know the game you are trying to play. Okay, maybe because I talked about Very Dark Man before, trying to warn him to watch his step. And you want to, maybe you draw saga between me and Very Dark Man. If he tries it, in less than 6 months, that his career will end. I told you now, it doesn't matter how powerful you are. There is a power that shapes our way, and to him we return. We are the ungifted. So when I tell you I am destiny and you do, try it. Talk about me, let me follow you. Simon Ekpa couldn't try it. I only responded to you, Oliver, because of Very Dark Man you talk. You will be the foolish person to come and talk about me. After all, I'm irrelevant. When I'm done with him, they will see how useful he is. Where is the almighty creator of your people, Ndi Igbo and the Kano, Onyoshi? Where is the almighty Simon Ekpa, finished soldier and lawyer, that control the government of Finland? Where are all of you? What you are doing is just instigating. But I still tell you my stance. You don't divide, you don't segregate the truth you talk. Very Dark Man now is choosing the truth he will talk. I pity those people who say, go and ask Very Dark Man. The one now that is protecting police from kidnapper. And he doesn't see he's putting himself into trouble. But it's not the purpose of my broadcast. So continue yapping, you are Igbo man. It's okay, come and unite with me. I see Uyi, you see many of my people are named to Agbo, Eka. They don't speak Igbo, nor identify. That is the perfect truth. And of course, there are so many of you here. Different Blackie, I greet you. Good morning, different Blackie. And so many other people, too numerous to mention. But this having been said, this is where I bring the broadcast to an end. I remember George when you be calling for the repeated and the last time. Very ugly man. Before they go say, show your face, show your face. Now you don't see the face. Now I don't become frustrated and ugly looking, shaving. I won't do that now. I want to do Rastafarian, ooh yeah, Rastafarian, yeah, Rastafarian, oh, Rastafarian. Some are saying that we lazy, some are saying that we crazy. I dedicate that one to you, Oliver, the arm robber, Igbo unknown gunman hiding in another man's country.